Donald Trump is so desperate to stop himself and two of his kids from having to testify in the ongoing New York Attorney General investigation that he had his lawyers file a motion in court this week, once again attacking New York Attorney General Letitia James, accusing her of selectively prosecuting Donald Trump. In the filing, they said that not only is this a selective prosecution, but also her dislike of his speech and political views is an effort to interfere with his political ambitions. There can be no stronger basis for a claim of selective prosecution than the evidence presented herein. Extraordinary, unprecedented, and frankly appalling, they said in the filing. And to be honest, unfortunately, they may have an argument. And here's why. Letitia James has, in fact, used the prosecution of Donald Trump in campaign material, specifically campaign emails. And the Trump lawyers did put those emails into the filing. That does bolster their case. However, what does work against them is the fact that, of course, people and the Trump organization itself have already been charged. They're already under indictment. So you can't say that this is a selective prosecution or that they're trying to hinder his future political plans when they've actually found crimes. This is not a fishing expedition. This was started many years ago by a different New York agency, that DA's office in Manhattan. The Attorney General got involved when it became clear that some of the issues that the DA was dealing with might be a little out of their jurisdiction, because they do cross state lines. They go to DC, they go to Chicago, some of them go to the West Coast, some of them go to New Jersey. And it's better to have a state attorney general handle those kinds of things where they can get better cooperation with other states and cities. So it is not, by any stretch of the imagination, a political prosecution. This is not Letitia James just having a grudge against Trump because she doesn't like Republicans. This isn't a witch hunt because they've actually seen the witches. They're there, they're in the documents, they're in the filings. But again, Trump's lawyers do have a pretty solid argument because she's talked about this. She's talked about stopping Trump from running for office in her campaign materials. And yes, that was a mistake by Letitia James. She should not have done that. Absolutely not. And of course, we know why she did. You want to invoke Donald Trump's name? Go for it. That's what a lot of candidates do, even people obviously not running against him. It raises a lot of money because there's a lot of people in the country who don't like Trump, don't want him to run for office ever again. So that's why you do it. But unfortunately, when you do have this kind of, conflict of interest, you could describe it as, you should probably leave his name off of your campaign materials. But again, proving that that means this is all a political prosecution, that's going to be a Herculean task for these Trump lawyers, and I don't think they're going to be able to do it by any stretch. However, James and any other Democrat investigating Donald Trump, maybe if you're seeking another office, leave his name out of it. You don't want to get popped for something like this because all it's going to do is create some headaches down the road. You're likely going to prevail, but you don't need those headaches. And again, all of this is just because Trump doesn't want to have to go and testify. He doesn't want his kids to go and testify. So they're grasping at whatever they can to try to either get this investigation shut down or try to get it moved to a different prosecutor that might be a little more friendly. But we also have to remember here, Letitia James is carrying out the civil investigation. Nobody's going to jail for this. This is seeking financial damages to see if money is owed to the state, if money is owed to the banks, if money is owed to the government, whoever it is. That's what she's after. She's after money. And of course, apparently, that's something Donald Trump fears losing even more than he fears losing his freedom by going to prison. One of today's video sponsors is Cometeer, a revolutionary coffee company with a very unique product. Cometeer is the first coffee that you melt to make. It's delicious, quality coffee that's ready in just seconds. Cometeer's freshly brewed coffee arrives flash frozen inside the world's first 100% curbside recyclable capsule. It's super simple to melt your way to hot or iced coffees, lattes, and so much more. No machines or expensive equipment are needed. It's simply incredible, fuss-free, mess-free coffee. Cometeer's brewing process captures the more than 2,000 flavor compounds that exist inside of a single coffee bean. Cometeer offers a wide variety of light, medium, and dark, single origin and blended coffee roasts from the best specialty roasters. The brewed coffee is then immediately flash frozen at minus 321 degrees Fahrenheit inside a recyclable capsule to lock in freshness and flavor. Cometeer has discovered the best way to brew, preserve, and deliver delicious coffee to your home. All you need to do is add water to enjoy it, hot or cold. With Cometeer, you can have a high-quality, balanced cup of coffee in the time it takes to boil water or fill a glass with ice, all for a fraction of the price of cafe coffee. And of course, unlike those other coffee pods, Cometeer capsules are 100% curbside recyclable. I love these pods because they're quick, they're convenient, and there's no waste or dirty coffee pots that you have to worry about, so it's perfect for both the home and the office. And right now, Cometeer has a special offer for our Ring of Fire viewers. You can save $20 off your first order. Just go to Cometeer.com/ROF. That's COMETEER.com/ROF and try it yourself. You won't be disappointed.